We're now in the Gameling Honest measurement lab of the physics department, and this is our LEAM, the low energy electron microscope. As you can see, it's a fairly big electron microscope, so it is a lot bigger than you would typically think of when you think of a microscope. But the working principle is actually very similar. So we shine a beam of electrons instead of light towards a sample. Then some of it is reflected and falls on the detector. There are a couple of lenses in between. And then we get a magnified image of the surface.
De veelbelovende natuurkundige Johannes Jobst draait soms zelfs nachtdiensten bij de beroemde microscoop van het Leidse Gameling Honest laboratorium. Niet voor niets was hij dan ook een van de 5 uitverkorenen uit het Nederlands wetenschapsland die naar de prestigieuze Lindau Nobelprijswinnaarsconferentie mocht. Voor de rubriek Science071 Op Pad ging ik daarom bij hem op bezoek. Off the record vertelde hij echter in het Engels nog veel meer interessants. Tijd dus voor een videoverslag.
Famous scientists that you know from books, like equations are named after them, and he has all these private pictures of going hiking with them in the Alps and stuff. So this was really impressive. Yeah, it's definitely intense. So it was from Sunday to Friday evening, and a typical day would be lectures from 9 o'clock in the morning until 1 of Nobel laureates. So all of them typically had 30-minute time slots for the lecture, or even a bit longer. And then we had a lunch. So altogether, like young scientists and laureates. So it was very likely that you end up on a table just by chance with someone who won a Nobel Prize for something. And yeah, they were all really very open. And this is what it's all about, to just connect and to also get not only the scientific expertise of those people, but they are typically relatively old scientists, so they also have a lot of life experience.
In de Science071 Op Pad-radioreportage vertelde Jobst over de middagen en avonden van de conferentie. Die waren ingericht met lange vraag- en antwoordsessies met de laureaten. En natuurlijk netwerkbarbecues en biertjes met de andere collega's. Al met al weinig rust en veel inspiratie dus.
Certainly I learned a lot from the people, also how they approach problems, and that some of them had a really funny career path, that they were really the outsider, that also the results were not really believed in, and they really had to fight a bit to get recognition. Some of them was also very different, that they had a discovery and it was very clear that this would be a big thing. Right. But yeah, that already tells you that there are multiple trajectories that you can follow.
Do you identify
with one of them? Yeah. I'm not so sure. It's hard to tell. But most of them are just scientists, right? They work in the lab, they do their work, and then at some point they do something that's really amazing and they win a prize for that. Yeah, it might have changed my vision on science, in the respect that a lot of the lectures were actually about big projects like CERN or astrophysics, or really trying to understand where the universe comes from, which is really very far away from what I'm doing in my daily work, because this is really more applied. I'm looking at electronic properties. This all is stuff that you can still grasp a bit more easily. And all this particle physics and astrophysics I did during my undergrad, but this is a long time ago, so I did not have a lot of update on that, I have to say. Mainly from what you hear at plenary talks at conferences or here at the colloquium. But yeah, it was really cool to see how many people work on those projects and how they really push the boundaries of what's possible. And yeah, in that sense, I think it really changed my perception of how this all works.
How do you see your career path flowing from here?
Yes, this is also something that we discussed at the Lindau meeting quite a bit, so also with other young scientists, because of course a lot of them are at a similar career stage, but also with like the laureates, like the older generation, and the ideas differ quite a bit. So some of them really made the point that like only 5% of the people who obtain a PhD will get a faculty position at universities. It's just a huge dropout rate. So you really have to be sure that you're within the top 5%, so to speak. But then all of them basically also made the point that there are a lot of really cool, interesting jobs outside academia. But
what kind of jobs are they?
Industry, research labs,
Right.
or also really just industry in manufacturing. There, with a scientific method, you can still also really improve processes and stuff. No, but for me personally, I think it looks fairly good. So now I have this zíén grant, which still gives me money for about 2.5 years. And within this time frame, I will look for a position somewhere else. And depending a bit on how it goes here with the science, I am fairly optimistic.